The running back position, once one of the NFL's most revered roles, now struggles for relevance in an era dominated by quarterbacks and wide receivers. Yet it remains the source of some of football's most extraordinary achievements. Today we count down the top 8 players who entered the ultimate club for any running back, the 2,000-yard season. Only 8 legends have achieved this in NFL history. Let's dive into their incredible feats, starting from the most recent to the first ever member of this elite club. Number 8, Derrick Henry, 2020. Henry is a modern-day workhorse who exemplifies raw power and endurance. Standing at 6'3" and weighing 247 pounds, Henry's bruising style is a throwback to classic power football. In 2020, Henry rushed for an astonishing 2,027 yards and scored 17 touchdowns. He registered 3 games with over 200 rushing yards and capped off the season with 250 yards in Week 17, securing his place in the 2,000-yard club. Henry's dominant performance helped propel the Titans to the playoffs and earned him the Offensive Player of the Year award. In an era dominated by aerial offenses, Henry proved that the ground game still has its place in the NFL. Number 7, Adrian Peterson, 2012. Peterson's 2012 season can only be described as miraculous. Coming off a devastating ACL injury, many doubted his ability to return to peak form. But Peterson silenced all critics by rushing for an incredible 2,097 yards, coming just 9 yards shy of breaking Eric Dickerson's all-time record. What makes Peterson's achievement even more remarkable is that he single-handedly carried the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs that year. His explosive runs and relentless drive earned him the MVP award, making him the first non-quarterback to win it in 6 years. Number 6, Chris Johnson, 2009. Chris Johnson brought electrifying speed to the 2,000-yard club. In 2009, Johnson rushed for an incredible 2,006 yards and scored 14 touchdowns, adding a staggering 2,509 yards from scrimmage, a record that still stands today. Johnson's blazing speed and agility made him a nightmare for defenders. He was a constant threat to break off a touchdown run from anywhere on the field. He proved that even in a pass-heavy league, a dynamic running back can make a massive impact. Number 5, Jamal Lewis, 2003. In 2003, Jamal Lewis delivered one of the greatest individual seasons in NFL history. Early in the season, he set a single-game rushing record with 295 yards against the Cleveland Browns, a mark that still stands to this day. Lewis finished the season with 2,066 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns, narrowly missing Eric Dickerson's all-time record. His bruising running style and ability to grind down defenses left an indelible mark on NFL history, even though he missed out on the MVP award. Number 4, Terrell Davis, 1998. Just 1 year after Barry Sanders' legendary season, Terrell Davis etched his name into the record books. Davis was the engine that powered the Denver Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowl titles, and his 1998 season was the crown jewel of his career. Davis rushed for 2,008 yards and scored a league-leading 21 touchdowns, averaging 125.5 yards per game. His consistency throughout the season earned him the MVP award, solidifying his status as one of the greatest running backs of all time. Number 3, Barry Sanders, 1997. Barry Sanders' 1997 season was a masterpiece of elusive running. Known for his jaw-dropping moves, Sanders rushed for 2,053 yards and scored 11 touchdowns. What makes his accomplishment even more impressive is that he achieved it behind a less-than-stellar offensive line. Sanders surpassed the 100-yard mark in 14 consecutive games that season, showcasing his ability to create something out of nothing. His electrifying performance earned him the MVP award, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest players to ever grace the gridiron. Number 2, Eric Dickerson, 1984. Eric Dickerson set the gold standard for running backs in 1984. In just his second NFL season, Dickerson rushed for an incredible 2,105 yards, a record that still stands nearly 40 years later. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 220 pounds, Dickerson combined power and grace in a way few players ever have. His dominance on the field left no doubt about his generational talent, even though he was controversially snubbed for the MVP award that year, which went to Dan Marino. Number 1, O.J. Simpson, 1973. The original member of the 2,000-yard club, O.J. Simpson set the benchmark for greatness in 1973. Playing in a 14-game season, Simpson rushed for 2,000 yards, 2,003 yards, averaging an astonishing 143.5 yards per game, a record that remains unmatched. Nicknamed the Juice, Simpson's blend of speed, power, and vision made him nearly unstoppable. His offensive line, famously dubbed the Electric Company, paved the way, but it was Simpson's ability to explode through defenses that cemented his legendary status. His 1973 performance earned him the MVP award and a place in the Hall of Fame. These 8 legends achieved what many consider the pinnacle of individual success for a running back, a 2,000-yard season. Their remarkable feats remind us of the beauty and power of the ground game in football. Who do you think will be the next to join this elite club? Let us know in the comments. And if you're hungry for more NFL history, check out our previous video, Top 10 Draft Busts in NFL History, or explore the most superstitious players in the NFL. We'll see you in the next video for more insider stories and jaw-dropping facts.